Hello, friends. Today we have with us an amazing artist, Ena Singh, who is also my good friend. And I hope to have a conversation with her today on art, understanding the processes of art better from her, so that it can be of benefit and interest to all of you also. So, I think first, Ena, I'd like to ask you that of course you took up painting quite late. It's been just 4 5 years since you started painting.
That's right. That's right.
So maybe could you share that what was your inspiration to start, like did you like take it up suddenly, or how was the process for you of starting that?
Harkamal, if I were to be honest, I didn't have an artistic bone in my body, right? Yeah. So 5 years back, my husband took premature retirement, and I thought that at least one of us should keep busy. You know, that way the house keeps peaceful. So I bought some paints and brushes for my husband, not for myself, and I like to encourage him. Why don't you paint something? Because he was the artistic one, but he didn't. So after several months, of coaxing him, I thought that he's not going to do anything. So I was just getting bored one day, and I picked up these paints and brushes and I started painting. And Harkamal, I haven't stopped painting ever since.
Wow.
I enjoyed it so much.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so inspiring,
Yeah.
Ena. I think for people who think that like, अच्छा अब कहीं तो मुझे 30 पे कह रहे हो, तो 30 your life is like done now, 40 and it's done now.
Yeah.
And to like take up something and to be able to do it so well, Ena's work is very popular, it sells so well. So I feel it's like really an inspiration for everybody.
Yeah. I'm enjoying it.
Yes, yes. So for me, like as a lay person, I'm really interested in like what is the process that an artist follows? Like how does an inspiration strike you that this is what you want to paint?
See, for me, it's been a very gradual process, okay? I started with painting on these river rocks, that you get in nurseries, those big white rocks. So I painted, I painted so many of them that everybody in the house was worried, कि अब इनका होगा क्या? So then I started gifting them to people. Then I discovered that, the result of that was that I found that people were liking them. So that was like encouragement for me. Then one of my friends, luckily she saw some spark in me, and she then, introduced another form on which I could paint. She introduced these terracotta plates. So I started painting on those. And slowly, it just graduated. And today I'm painting on canvas and paper, which I'm really, really enjoying. And I think my painting has also improved with time. Why? Because I think I have a deeper connect with it now than I did earlier. Earlier, I was hesitating. I was painting for, other people, their appreciation. But now I paint because, I'm happy. I'm happy to paint, So if you ask me that, how do you know that a painting is going to turn out good? I don't know that, right? But if, there's a little, it's like a feeling in your body. Your body tells you, this painting is going to come out well. And it does. That's how it works for me. It's really just an intuitive process for me.
It's so interesting. Yeah. And you said deeper connect. Could you explain that a little more? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah. See, for me, Harkamal, art has been like therapy. So just a little funny note on that would be, I participated in an exhibition and somebody asked me, why do you paint? I said, it's therapy. So she looked at me and she said, you need so much therapy? So I would like to believe I'm ongoing process. Yeah. So yes. So what has art taught me? Art has taught me a couple of things. First, it's taught me that I have no control over anything. Yeah, I firmly believe, I don't know if any other artist believes this or not, but I believe so, that I have no control over what is going to appear on the paper or on the canvas. Okay? Whatever wants to appear on that day will appear. Okay? The day I sit down to paint as Ena the artist, I can't draw a single straight line, Harkamal.
Wow.
It's so strange, but that's really how it works for me. So what has it taught me? It has taught me to allow the process to happen. Yeah, to get my own ego out of the way, which I think is really a difficult thing to do actually. You know,
so
because so many days I'm struggling because Ena's at work. So the day Ena's not at work, then that day there is magic. So that is the most important thing it has taught me. The other thing that I've yet to learn is if I'm struggling, I'm usually struggling only when Ina's painting. So I have yet to learn how to get up and walk away. Walking away is equally important. I'm still learning that.
That's such an amazing sharing. That's like such a spiritual aspect that you're sharing with it. And maybe at this point, maybe you could share a little bit about your spiritual journey also, because I know a little bit you have engaged in that.
Yeah.
And how has it come together with the art? Like this is like so beautiful and profound what you're saying. But maybe sharing a little bit if you would.
See, I started with yoga. Okay, and then
and that was how long back?
It was almost 20 years back, if not more. And art of living, I started with that, and then slowly, I remember going for my satsangs and singing, and I'd be singing on the top of my voice. Those were days too, I enjoyed doing that too. I don't do that anymore, but still, because maybe I was a bathroom singer and I wanted to sing. Anyway. Then slowly I was introduced to Ramana Maharishi, Nisargadatta Maharaj, and so now thanks to YouTube, these masters are not there living anymore, but their word is there, out there. Since I'm more of a audio person rather than reading, I listen to these videos almost every day. And for them, it's all about, as you know, they were Advait masters, and they talk about, getting in touch with or becoming the reality that really exists. Okay, that is all there is actually. So I think painting silences my mind also. So if there is any connection between what I practice and what I do as painting, then I would say that it is a continuation of my belief that it is the mind which needs to be put in silence, And painting helps me to do that, I think, to some extent. Because now that you're asking me, I'm thinking on my feet right now, how is it connected?
Like you were saying the same thing, like Ena gets in the way.
Yeah.
It's the mind getting in the way.
And
when you're talking about spirituality, it's the same thing, the all.
Yeah, yes.
That way it's kind of like very similar there.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
So it's like maybe when we connect to the infinite mind, and then it's maybe the boundless creativity is there. And when you're connected to it, and maybe you have the trust that you can surrender and become one with it. So maybe you're kind of living it.
At that moment, yes. And also maybe that is how that is how the belief that, what is going to appear will appear. Is based on my, what my gurus have taught us, are talking about what is, and
wonderful. So another question that as a lay person I have is that, yes, I think maybe like even people listening in would have this question that yes, becoming one with the infinite, but what about like the skills? For me, like I know only I can, the water paints, maybe that's what I know about. And so is there any place for learning skills in, like becoming an artist?
Yeah, there are several places, there are several institutes around where you can go and
like, is it a must? Or do you think like that
No, I'm totally untrained. I have no training, Harkamal.
They can be bypassed, you think?
Yes. In fact, the only place where I've learned something is from YouTube. That's all. Otherwise, I have no skill set. I was asked by people to, if I could teach them. And I said, listen, you can come and see what I do, because I really don't know how it happens, So there are several places people do join, but I've never had the opportunity to do so.
So you mean to say like the skill set is not a must? It's like just maybe getting into the, just getting into it, like you were saying, the parents were lying around.
Yeah.
So maybe like even the parents of children who want to encourage their children, or maybe the adults who would like to just have the paints lying around.
If they're available,
Yeah.
then I guess the person has an opportunity to pick them up if they so desire.
That seemed to be the only thing
Yeah,
that has
that was
happened
the
for
only
you. So that is your advice to people: have the paints lying around so that you may start.
So that you might even look at them, who knows?
That's so wonderful. Yes. Guys, that's amazing advice. You must take that. And I feel it's very interesting when you said that painting also helps you to silence your mind.
Yes.
So I find that really interesting. So maybe also I feel like, guys, you have to take back this advice with you, that it really helps to calm you down. So have the paints lying around and get into it, and the creativity will flow. I'm learning from you, Ena, that is to trust and surrender, because of course I know, I have also tried to paint. So I completely realized that Harkamal is coming in the way, who thinks about herself that I absolutely cannot paint to save my life. So I feel that I am learning that from you, to let go more and more. And I feel that would be an amazing process to just let go and let it flow. And it seems to me that it would also be probably part of the conditioning which we get in our childhood and even in our education system, wherein it's about what kind of, like you were saying also earlier, that I was very focused on what is the kind of painting that I am drawing. And it's coming to me that, when we do inner child work, so there, one of the important exercises that we do is that we draw with the non-dominant hand. If it's right-handed person, so as an exercise, I would give them that please draw with your left hand. And I know that process, what's most important there is that one is not focused on what would be the product or even at what is one drawing. So maybe there a little bit a person is able to connect, and I can tell you from my experience that sometimes I have drawn there something which has surprised me. It has come out so beautifully, and I've seen that with other people also. So probably I am listening to you also, it seems to me going very deep inside me that the creativity is there. It's just the mental blocks that we have and that we have to get out of the way.
I think everybody is creative, except it's just that we don't take the time to nurture that, within us. We don't have the time. We're so caught up in other things, so we don't really explore that aspect of ourselves. But I think everybody is creative, even if it is just in, setting up a beautiful home. Even that is creativity, isn't it? But not many people have the opportunity or the desire to take it up. I hadn't till I was almost in my 50s, so
Right. Okay. So would you say that, yes, having the time, but apart from that, would you say that being an artist, for instance, it seems to me that you would have to maybe observe something also, would you see something and be inspired also? Do you think that seeing is a part of it? Observing or being around beauty, is it part of it, or is it just something which is there or not there, it doesn't matter?
I don't think it really matters, because it's something to do with what's inside you. Now, why do I paint? I mainly paint abstract landscapes. Okay, why do I paint that? I think I have a deep-seated desire to travel. But I've not been able to fulfill that for various reasons. So hence, I'm constantly painting nature. Yes, it has also made me more observant. For instance, when I go for a walk, I notice lots of things which my friends don't notice. And I keep pointing them out. See this, see this, see that. So it's made me more observant. But I think basically it comes from within.
So it's interesting that you're saying that observation is not necessary, but enhanced observation might be the byproduct of.
Maybe. Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
So saying that you're observing more now. That is very interesting. It's very interesting how you say it. How were you as a child, Ena? Did you like to paint or?
Harkamal, I have a secret. No, I was terrible at drawing and painting. My bio files where we all had to draw, different things were done by my aunt. And yes, all my art classes in school, till we had art, maybe that was till 8th, I think, in school. I spent them standing outside my class, punished. Because I was
our art teachers. See her now.
Yes, now, yeah.
Punished her,
Yeah,
no.
exactly, yeah. She would be turning, I mean, if she's there, then she'd be happy, and if she's not, she'd be turning in her grave. Like, no. Because, I was always punished because either I didn't bring my paints or my files, or I was disrupting class. So I couldn't paint to save my life then.
But like just hearing that, it kind of makes me sad also. And just this question comes to me, like, what do you think would be different in our schools? But like, if you were to go back in time, what would you have liked to be different?
I think if we take only our art class, then I think whatever a child paints, he's painting it from his or her perspective, right? So, putting up one painting on the board and asking every child, "Ye banaiye aaj ke din ke liye." So, I don't think that's really good, because we all have our own take on different things, and we all like to express ourselves in different ways. And why judge a child on whether he's drawn colors that you like, or whether complementary colors or contrasting colors? How does it matter? I think every child's expression should be accepted just for what it is, and not judge it for.
I mean, like having freedom of expression.
Exactly, freedom of expression.
Maybe even the freedom in choosing the mediums that they want to, like maybe the child wants
the mediums, the colors, the subject, whatever. And I think because I remember in my art class itself, there were a couple of girls who were very good. So they were the only ones who were, encouraged, and the rest of us were either, just whiling away our time, or like me,
and what was even the good? Like, how was it like qualified? Like, to me, it seems that like, okay, if you draw in this particular way, and that is maybe copying. Sometimes that I can just copy to perfection. So even our standard of what is called good. Is kind of like what is maybe not right.
I think it stifles creativity, doesn't it?
Of course.
It stifles. I mean, children won't be encouraged to try out different things, try out new things, for the fear of whether they'd be judged or criticized. So I think creativity requires freedom, which is lacking in our schools, maybe.
Yeah, and then we have been brought up in that way, so the mind has become like it's gone into that box. So it's very difficult to break it as an adult. And maybe that's the challenge, because I know I will look at something I draw and I'll immediately judge it. That though this does not look good. Rather than, okay, this is my expression at that time, and I won't be allowing myself. So maybe like breaking free from that. And like you are also saying, that's how one connects to that inner creativity. But it seems to me like it cannot be just done as an intention, and maybe it's a process of maybe the spiritual growth or whatever, silencing of the mind, that these these shackles break. What do you think?
Yes, I guess so.
One can't just say that, oh, I'm going to break these shackles.
No. I think it's a process, because there are days when even I'm painting and I'm so critical of it. So what? That is how my mind wanted to. That is how my soul, rather than my mind, my soul that wanted to express itself like that, use those particular colors. But Ena comes in and she starts criticizing it and judging it, and I'll carry my painting to my family members and I'll say, please, how's it? That's not okay. Why? But I wanted to express myself that way, and that's how I did it.
So it seems like self-acceptance would be very essential.
So important for a painter. Yes, I think that's very important.
Anybody, but maybe for a painter
yes.
Because even to be able to have that confidence to showcase your work.
Exactly, it's very difficult. For instance, I find it so difficult to sell, because when I try to sell my work, then I'm open to criticism, right? I'm open to judgment. I'm open to being refused. So for a painter, so then it is very important to first of all have confidence and be appreciative of what has appeared on the paper or on the medium that you're using. So self-acceptance.
Yes.
Very important.
True. That's so wonderful, Ena. Ena, maybe we can close this by maybe you can share a message that you have with maybe the aspiring painters or the adults, who are interested in this mode of art. What is it that you'd like to say to them? Maybe you've shared a lot in this wisdom and a lot of wisdom from your experience. Maybe something that, somebody who's aspiring to paint.
Well, all I'll tell you is that I think each one of us is creative. Just take that step and explore your own creativity. You don't need to look outside for approval. The first thing that you need to do is appreciate and approve what you yourself have made. And if you love it, then there's just no stopping it. Because whatever you love, I think grows. Right? So, each of us is creative. If you want to paint, I think you should just jump into it.
Wow, that's so beautiful. Even I'm feeling inspired by your words. Yeah.
I look forward to seeing your paintings.
Oh, yes. Of course. So, thank you so much, Ena. It was such a joy connecting with you here. And it's, I have learned a lot of new things, though I've known you for a long time. So, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Harkamal. It was such a pleasure.